Have you ever left the gym or your workout thinking that maybe you could have pushed yourself a little bit harder? Maybe there was a little bit more left in the tank. Even though you moved your body, you're happy, you feel healthy, you are motivated, but you kind of just waltzed through your workout. On this show, we talk a lot about consistency. That was one of the last episodes I did about just showing up and making it part of your life. And we have also talked a lot about circuit training. I've touched on supersetting and drop sets, but today we're going to talk about intentional volume and simplifying our workouts.
Hey there, I'm Ashley, mom of 4 and creator of Reps and Redemption. Join me as I share my passion for health education, explore all things fitness and nutrition, plus share a little faith-filled homemaking along the way. If you're a mom ready to build strength and live a life of epic redemption, this podcast is for you. Let's get after it.
Hey there, I hope you are living a healthy life, full of the truth from God's word, nutritious food, and a lot or even just a little bit of time to work out. My family and I, we just watched The Rise of Skywalker. I think it was last weekend. Kylo Ren said something several times, and I knew I was going to use this quote, but I didn't know how, and it just kind of dawned on me today, right before I hit record, that he said, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. He said it several times, and the only person that said you do have the strength to do it was his dad, Han Solo. And I want to be, Han Solo is one of my favorite characters. I know I'm not him, but I want to be that for you. And I know we've thought this, what I mentioned in the intro. Do we have more, gas left in our cars? Do we have more push left within us? Can we do a little bit more? Am I strong enough to do this? Maybe there's limiting beliefs that you have about yourself, or maybe people around you sadly have those beliefs too. So let me step in and say, you do. You are strong enough. You can do this. I want to talk about, just briefly, about intentional volume. We're going to talk about when we lift at the gym, going in with consistency first, showing up, being there. If you're just getting into this thing, just show up. Then make a plan and see when you can go. Can you go 5 times a week? Is it 3? Is it 2? Start somewhere. And then we're going to dive in more about getting in a quick workout. I've talked a lot about that. I've talked about my love for the Stairmaster, but I want to share with you one main way where I've made a mistake for myself. So I think it's really important to take the time to rest and in between sets. This is where we're going to see better results and increase our overall strength. Once you have a plan and you're not just moving around and lifting light weights, and you really have the desire to see some physique changes, some overall body changes, you're going to want to create a workout or pick a workout, whether one day's full body, one day's upper, one day's lower. We can get into logistics later, but right now I want to talk about showing up for yourself, not leaving any reps on the table. And this is where I have made mistakes over my last 20 years in lifting weights. I would go in, and there's a time and a place for that now, Mom. Do you hear me? I am a busy mom. There's times where I just need to get to the gym to move my body. We talk a lot about that on the show, but we want to show up for ourselves. Once we get in to lifting a little bit heavier every time, we're going to want a little bit of rest time to perform another set at the same intensity level as the first. This is us showing up for ourselves. A longer rest could be better. I'm not talking like 5 minutes scrolling on your phone. I'm talking about a 1 to 2 minute reps so you can utilize the reps you have in reserve. That's called RIR. It's a very interesting term because I think about it now spiritually and physically. What reps are we leaving on the table? We should be close to an 8 out of 10 intensity. We don't want to leave any gains on the table either, any muscle growth. We want to start building our bodies to be stronger, build that muscle. As we do these workouts, we want to show up for ourselves. So that's what this episode is about. It's brief, it's quick, but I'm going to challenge you that when you go to the gym, you push yourself. If you're doing 3 sets and you got 10 reps in each one, push yourself and make it till, lift the type of weight where you only got 6 left. You're doing an 8 out of 10 intensity level. This is where you're going to see the best changes for your body. There are days that I just want to work out and move my body, but to be the better version of myself and who I want to be, physically and where I want to go with my athleticism, I want to build muscle and strength and level up my training. So I'm going to have to do the hard stuff to see some amazing changes and to live this epic life. I need to do this. I have got to push myself a little bit harder. With this intentional volume, you don't have to go into the gym and kill yourself. You can pick 3 to 4 different exercises and really just make sure good form, definitely good form. You want to be consistent. You want to make sure that you're lifting appropriately and you're doing the exercise correctly. But you can easily break down a muscle group within 3 to 4 simple workouts with great form, good intensity, and make sure you're contracting at the proper time. And sometimes, and we hear this a lot, actually a lot of the times, less is more. Wouldn't you agree? I want to do more than just burn calories. Remember to be consistent and remember that, yes, burning calories is essential. We want to do that. We want to move our bodies. We want to exercise. I mentioned, today was one of my rest days, but I did the stairs because I really needed an endorphin release. Heart health, it's really good for me and it's supplemental to my jujitsu training. It's a tool I use on top of lifting, but cardio does not ever take the place of intentionally lifting heavy weights and going up in volume. If you're always stuck at 5-pound dumbbells or 10s or 15s, maybe go up a little bit, or maybe go up on the second or third set. And this way, you're going to see muscle growth and you're going to see strength and you're going to feel so much better. And we're going to shape our physique the way that we are made to be, especially if our nutrition is on point. But that's another note. You can see a lot of people just kind of eating like crap, but they've got a good build in their arms and legs. Maybe their midsection, their core needs a little bit of work and their diet is kind of trashy. But it's because they're lifting weights. I'm not saying you do that, but I am saying if you're just going to stick with cardio, I've talked about this before. I can't remember which episode it was where I talked about my own skinny fat. So that will definitely do that if you don't lift weights. And we don't want to go there. We want to increase our volume. We want to increase the weights. We want to lift with a little bit more intensity and not leave any reps on the table. So I've had this thought, and if you've ever wondered, man, I don't know if I have the strength to do it, with kids and the house and all these things that I have going on in my life, do I have the strength to do this? And I'm going to tell you, you do. So when I say earn your rest, what I mean is when your head hits the pillow, you didn't leave anything on the table, especially when it comes to pushing your body for your health and for your own fitness and to feel just like you've got the energy to do this, you've got the strength, and we are not going to our head's not going to hit the pillow and we're not going to have any regrets. We're going to show up for ourselves, which in turn, we're going to show up for our families and our home and our time with the Lord. And this is really going to push us to be stronger moms.
If this episode inspired you, will you share with a friend? Remember, this podcast offers health education tips and holistic insights. Please consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice. Until next time, Mama, be bold and live well.